Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild, and sitting around still gives me a lot of time to just do small things or things that I wanted to test out. So that's why I got inspiration from Satisfactory to just build this. It's not beautiful. I just wanted to build it because I found this cockpit here, the standing cockpit basically, that I can use now to drive this thing around and pick up random scrap that is lying around. So just again, this I will take this with me and maybe make it a bit nicer, just to have it. Last Friday I streamed a bit on Twitch, and I might leave, if I don't forget it, the Twitch link in the description of the video so that people can go there too. I'm thinking about doing some stuff on Twitch that not necessarily is Space Engineers, just for now, because there's so much time and some things. Don't know, it would be nice to play other stuff once in a while. And on Twitch, while I was streaming, I played Space Engineers. I finished this. This is the new transfer arm for this truck. So it works like the one on the main truck. It goes up and down, sideways, out. And I can hook this thing up to it. The main problem that I had is that our weird small rover, I can't connect it up to grab components. So that's a bit of a problem. I don't know, while building it I didn't think about it, and yeah, I have no connection, I have no large connection to the medium cargo container back here, so I needed something else to pick up the random trash in the area, because we are still shooting drones sometimes. And so I just built this thing. I can pick up, with a build and repair system in there, I can pick up wreckages now and just remove the trash. I did that because we still have time. There's 800 meters or so more to drill, and that takes a while, but at least it works automatically now. And I'm using the time to upgrade the truck a bit more. We can take a look at that, and to do some experiments. I will go over that in a second, because that was something I found interesting while building it. Not while building it, while browsing Reddit, let's say it that way. So we have controls here now for the turret. You saw that this is for the transfer tube, so we can go in there and then move it with the usual buttons, and can now transfer stuff between smaller rovers and this one. I managed to put in also all the stuff to make food. I have reactors now, so I used the turret to bring in materials, also gold and silver, so I was able to build the some reactors here. They don't have uranium right now in them. That's okay, I don't need it. We'll add that later. I don't know, this truck grows on me, I have to say. It looks weird, yeah, but it is at the moment a bit more practical than the really big one. Drives better, and everything is a bit compacter. I don't have to run around for everything so much. Yeah, this thing is Model 1 basically. This thing I would call Model 2, the upgraded version, although I like this one too. This one still gets work sometimes too. Yeah, and again, I want to bring that to the pole to have a better place to then maybe modify it a bit more to at one point maybe drive it back. We will have to see how that all works out. The tunnel is, you can see the tunnel mid. It's not the midpoint. It's just a point I've set to just see how far I have to go. We're at 1,200 meters. And it extends 200 meters more. Ugh. And there should be a space on the other side or a GPS marker. I haven't done that by now, but you can see that there's a lot more digging that needs to happen. Okay, let's go back to the idea that somebody else had. I have to immediately say that so that I don't get in hot water with with any people that then tell me I stole ideas or something like that. That's something I definitely don't want to happen. I talked about this, that there is I saw someone on Reddit do suspension like this. So to have a small wheel or a wheel that acts as a suspension for just an arm. There's multiple people now that use that. Recently someone put a really big rover on the workshop and presented it there. Seems to be from deserts of Karak, where I saw this suspension too, and I wanted to test it out myself. So how does this work in comparison to the torsion springs I'm using here, for example? And the cool thing about this is here we can have some settings. So we can set the strength and all that stuff to use it like another suspension that don't know, it's weird to say that this could be interesting if it works and if it doesn't phase through the blocks or something like that. That's the main fear I have, that the wheel just phases through. I saw what how blocks react to weight on them, and how that affected, for example, this rover. While I was building it and while I was moving it, I placed it on a platform made out of blocks because I thought that would be a lot more safe than to just have it on the voxels. Let's say that way, that sometimes didn't end well. So with physics glitches and the wheels just glitching through the blocks, all that stuff. We will have to see how that works out. Maybe it's not a concern for smaller stuff. The Deserts of Karak rover that I saw, it works without scripts and mods, and I'm not sure how that is achieved. I have the suspicion that it uses just for the front wheels this suspension, and in the back then has steering and all that stuff, because again, steering doesn't work through subgrids, at least not without scripts. So I'm not sure. The build looks great. Maybe I can find the name and then put a picture in here. You then can choose if you want to have that too. So I usually don't download a lot of stuff from the workshop. That's the the thing I usually avoid. For me, it's all about the... Yeah, to build everything myself and not... In the end, again, get accused of stealing anything, because that's the last thing I want, that anybody thinks I'm stealing ideas. Suspension left 3. We should, maybe I should. How long is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. This needs to go out a bit more. Anyways, lower limit -45. The upper limit will go in the same direction. Just 45. And later I can set that more precisely if needed. And then I usually turn that off. Share inertia tensor I will turn on. Then, that was a mistake. I should have put the wheel on first. 5, 6, 7, 9. Maybe it works. I'm not sure. 7. That is left. 3 by 3. See, it doesn't work. And 7, the 1 by 1. Goes here. The cool thing with that is that, yeah, I don't need any. Yeah, again, I don't need any scripts to run for the suspension itself. That makes sense. I'm as close as we can get to vanilla, as interesting I think that is. And okay, let's turn this back on. Velocity minus. And let us try to put on the wheel. Now we can just release it again. It should be really interesting. I hope maybe this drives well and we can just set up some more things like this and maybe even try bigger rovers. I'm always searching, and that's why I'm at the moment so focused on this whole thing with the suspensions and the wheels and rovers. I'm always searching for the best kind of way to get around here. And maybe having suspensions, again, suspensions are interesting. The wheels have them themselves, and that's a good thing. But I search more for the even more mobility in the rover frames, in the grids themselves. It attracts clang, but on the other hand, the trucks, for example, wouldn't have gotten anywhere if they would be just long things sitting just on the wheels. The suspensions they have did it make possible that they got here. And sometimes even without the thrusters. With thrusters, again, you can, I think, get every grid everywhere. But these suspensions make it possible so that the wheels have more contact to the ground and all that stuff. Even for this thing, that is just a modification of having a long thing just sitting on wheels by just adding a bit of suspension in the back and the front. And this rover, again, this rover works, as wonky as it is, it works really well. It works really well, and having more ways of doing that is really interesting to me. For me, that's something I really need to figure out. And the less subgrids it has, the less the less other stuff I need to integrate, the more interesting it gets, kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will do 6 and then 3 again, so that I will go with just the suspension to the front, essentially the suspension to the back. So there will be the rotor, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I will get the front suspension on there and just copy that thing to the back. Again, we can... I will want to try that if it's maybe possible to also just have the suspension in the front and then have steering in the back. Then I can even get around one more script. If that thing in the front is just there to... yeah. The problem would be... Okay, I can't get around this. The subgrid script is needed, because if the wheels in the back are just there to give it stability, then they are useless. I want them to be able to drive the whole thing. So that is then out of the picture. That can go later. Bring out the rotor displacement. Can do that now. Set up the limits. And again, I know that maybe some of you can't see me do that stuff again because I'm too focused on just playing around with weird suspensions or something like that. But the whole digging process, and that's something, again, I want to get to the pole. I still want to do that, and you see that I have progress, but oh yeah, I don't know if I showed that to you. The pole is farther away than I thought, but the good thing is once we are on this plateau, then we can just drive, because then we don't need to dig anymore, because it's really flat up there. And need steel plates. Okay, let me grab some steel plates. I need cargo access from down here. Maybe I can use a piston or so to lower down a cargo container. That's maybe a good idea. Something that I can lower down. Sorry, that. Ooh. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9. 1, 2. Good. And put some 3x3 wheels on here. 3x3 left. No, that's 3x3 right. 6. Turn that around. That works. Now I can drop these rotors. And can do it here too. What's happening out there? For being in a lockdown, some things really never lock down. And then if this works in this small space, oh, I will have to see how I can set up the wheel on there. If this whole thing works in this small scale, can I maybe force it? No, I can't force it. Ugh. Need more space. Okay, maybe if I lower down the strength. Now? Yes. Haha.
Energy critical.
Come on. Come on. Oh man. Okay, again this this is very experimental again. I love it. At the moment I really love it to just mess around with that stuff. I don't even need to take the stuff with me if I don't need it. I just grind it down again or feed it to the nanobots. It's really neat. Oh man. Why doesn't it? This should work. Okay, let's just cheese it. We will cheese it at wheel. Why couldn't the wheel be attached? Is this one in the way? Oh no. I know why. All the work for nothing. That is the right side. 6 right side. 1 by 1. Right. Thanks. That's what I needed. Wrong wheel type. So we tales from the lockdown. We have neighbors here that really don't care. It's amazing how they don't care about the lockdown. They have guests over there and now they have time because we are all not working. It's amazing. I don't know. That's something that really grinds my gears. Maybe because I'm just salty. Because I can't do that and I can't go out and... but it's something, don't know, that gets me. I will just use that cockpit. I don't care now for it being nice. Just have a cockpit. G, just have batteries. 2 batteries. Or 1. Just have 2 batteries here to look. Okay. And maybe something to fill it up. I'm not sure. That might get moved later. Let us remove this. Let us remove this. And let us unclamp this thing. Okay, the front already sprung into action. This is off. This is off. I need the subgrid manager. So G, programmable block. Why doesn't this go down? It's weird. Maybe the angle is too steep. It could be that the angle is just too steep. Browse. Sub. Action. Auto level. Sam. Rotor torsion. Subgrid wheel control. That is copy to editor. Cockpit and to maybe bring that up. Check code. Name the cockpit. Recompile the whole program. And let's see, does it work? Aha! Okay, I need to set the 1x1s. I need to get the propulsion off, I need the steering off, I need the brake off. And for these I need inverted steering. Okay, that works. Now we need to set up the strength of the 1x1 wheels. Okay. And just could also move the It's weird, but I think it works. The friction, I think we can bring down. We don't need friction on that. We just need the suspension, and we don't need the power. We just need the suspension strength. So this gets more strength too, because we want to have the suspension here too. Friction. The speed limit goes down because I'm usually having slower speed limits. The power can stay the way it is. Ooh, that's because of the angle, it steers kind of weird. I think the angle of the suspension needs to be lower. But take a look. Let us go and yeah. If I bring the angle down, then now I have the feeling the whole thing is too top heavy. And if I would bring down the angle, that might alleviate the problem. So bring the suspension wheels to the front a bit more. Maybe 1 or 2 blocks. Let us find something where I can, where it is a bit rougher terrain. Is that? That is, I think, the thing that I've cut into the mountain. Ooh, see how neatly it kind of, the suspension gives a neat effect when it comes to steering the whole thing. Ah, nice. Oh, it could be that come on. Let's see. This deserves more experiments. This definitely needs more experimenting. Need to move the wheels up. Yeah, I could also go up with the wheels, with the suspension wheels there. It's definitely not a high-speed thing. And with this, yeah, I need to, suspension wheels up there need to go 1 higher. Again, then I can flatten the whole suspension a bit. And I don't have the feeling that it just rolls away while I'm driving here. The angles are all right. And now let's see how it fares in relatively rough in a relatively rough area. I need, okay, yeah, that is not, it's too light for too crazy stuff, but you can see that the suspension definitely works. That is neater than the torsion springs, I have to say. The torsion springs are definitely, yeah, maybe harder to set up. I might need to set them up a lot better. And I can see where it loses basically the ground, where it starts to roll, and maybe it deserves bigger wheels. The 3x3s are just not big enough here. But this works neatly. There's also a way to set that up with maybe 2 wheels in the back or stuff like that. This is really cool. I will drive that back and I will experiment a bit more with this. Maybe I change the stuff out and then come back to you. The whole transfer pipe thing, you can see I put a connector on the rover and a reactor. I don't know. I want to I want to give it power and not sit somewhere in the desert without power in the end. The whole transfer pipe is real neat to just pick up the rovers, change out what you want to change, and then it works really fine. The big problem that I run into now is that the whole thing is now too light, kind of, and when I speed up you can see that the suspension is kind of working hard. Let's see, it lifts up a lot, but it works remarkably well with the big wheels. They do a lot better job than anything else, but I have the feeling that steep or really sharp corners would tip it over. That needs more experimenting. Give me a sec. Ooh. I'm struggling. The whole the whole being locked in isn't good for my health. That's a weird thing to say, that you're locked in because of your health, but doesn't help me. I'm not getting out a lot at the moment, even less than before, and that's not good for me. But this works really, really well, and now it's, yeah, I would have to test out more settings, and I should play around with more, more of the, I don't know, the numbers there. But it works out really well. This is really neat, and we could I tested that out before, but we can even use the air shocks to do a bit of lowrider action or something like that. That's really, really neat. Oh, maybe I need to bring down the low level of the although don't know, it's neat to be able to have shocks that just have a bit more spring to it, that the range of movement is neat for the rotors too. It's really cool. Okay, let us do a slow move over this hole. I want to see how that works out. If it bumps into there and then, okay, that's too fast. Holes in the ground are still an issue for every rover. Doesn't work too well with that, but it works. That's really neat. Another experiment that kind of works out. I still fear that the wheels might go through the blocks. I might try, if it's possible, to just put a few more blocks on there, so that if it goes through there, it maybe catches itself, and if something breaks, we don't lose everything immediately. Yeah, now it's more of a weight issue. The thing should be heavier, something like that. But it works. It works really well. Good. People, I think that's all. Ugh. Okay, it's wobbly. It's wibbly wobbly. Again, I will experiment around with that a bit more. That deserves some more testing, I say. I'm still, don't know. I'm still always finding new stuff that we need to work with. See how it in the corners, it maybe I can be a lot less scared when I go around curves. I have the feeling this thing would hold a lot more when I go into curves. I don't know. This needs testing, as said again. People, but I think that's all for today. I still have to edit this, and I don't know if I get around to editing the intro. I still have problems with my intro, and I have to work on that. And work on that too. Yeah, I need the time. Good. People, I think that's all for today. Hope you like this experimentation, and I hope you can forgive me that it is another rover that I've built, another thing that I need, that needs testing, and that I just wanted to see how this would work. Good people, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. Take a look at the description again. There is the link to my Twitch channel. I hope that I can do more on there now. We have a lot of time. And if I can get my lazy bum to just get up and start streaming, that would be great. Yeah, people, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. See ya, guys.